So if you're not paid above a certain threshold, you're actually still entitled to overtime. First of all, there's been a few changes to overtime legislation. Now, overtime isn't necessarily something that, if you're placing permanent employees, that you might necessarily come across. And if you're placing contract workers, then you will definitely come across it. But overtime does actually affect salaried workers too. So if you're not paid above a certain threshold, you're actually still entitled to overtime in the US as well. And in July, they actually changed the threshold for overtime exemption. So if you were paid above that threshold, you would no longer have to be paid overtime. And that caused a bit of havoc, actually, because if you think about some of the higher salaried places like New York, for example, or maybe a normal level job, you have to be paid a fairly high wage, a bit like London, to kind of compete and have an affordable lifestyle. The threshold then kind of actually was brought lower, and that affected lots of people there. So a lot of employees in New York had to rethink about recategorizing their roles, or actually thinking of even giving raises and things to kind of combat the overtime law. So that was one of the things that happened that the Department of Labour passed as well.